Hi all, welcome to our channel. Once again, thank you for watching. Today we are going to be double flaring a brake line. So all brake lines and fuel lines are double flared. This is the cutter. This cutter is to cut the line. So it's got, if you notice right here, it's got a notch in it. This notch is if you're just cutting the tip. So if you're cutting the tip, what you do is you just put the tip where the notch is. Okay, so you can cut the tip, but if you're cutting farther down, then you can move it anywhere you need to cut it from. When you're cutting the brake line, it's not a best practice to hold it in a vise or with pliers or with vice grips, because if you do that, what happens is it gets a kink in here, and then it restricts the fluid from going through. This is called a flaring bar, and it's best, I found it's best to hold the tubing in the flaring bar. At least it doesn't kink it. Okay, so you hold it in the flaring bar. That way you're preventing the kink, and it will hold it so it doesn't spin on you. So we're ready to cut. Get the tube cutter. Okay, and you can get these in different sizes too, because unfortunately, most of the time you're doing this on the car. You wouldn't have a vise, you wouldn't have anything, there wouldn't be enough space. You can get these in a smaller size as well. So you put the tube cutter, on, spin it, twist the knob tiny bit, don't force it because you don't want to kink it. So spin it, keep going. So every time I spin, I turn the knob tiny bit. Okay, you keep going. Eventually it will cut the tube. Okay, every turn I'm turning the knob. So this knob is the one I'm talking about. So I've turned it a tiny bit, and this will prevent, the bar will prevent it from spinning. Okay, so there we go. So a couple things about the flaring bar. It shows you different sizes, so like 1/2 inch, 7/16, 5/16, quarter, 3/16. So it shows you, you can get this in the metric too. So it shows you different sizes. So you gotta find the one that the tube is. So this brake line is actually 1/4 inch, so I'm gonna be using the 1/4 inch. Another thing about the bar is, if you look on one side, these are tapered. So one side is tapered. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. So you can probably see it on this one clearly. So the top is tapered on this side, but if you turn it around, this side is flat. Okay, so we're going to use the flat side first. So I'll show you the reason why we use the flat side first. So you want to hold the bar in the vise. As I said, like most of the time you're not this lucky. You're holding this with your hand when you're working under the car. But for a demo purpose, I'm just going to hold it in the vise. So you hold the bar in the vise, and then you put the brake line, brake tubing in it, and you try to keep it as low as possible. So there we have it. And what we're going to do is we're going to file this, because when we cut it, sometimes what happens is one edge is higher than the other edge. So we're going to file this so it's flat. Okay, so you grab your file and just try to keep the file straight. Don't let the file tilt on to any of the sides. Keep the file straight and file. So we have filed it. It's all flat. It doesn't have any of the edges higher than the other side. I got it as close as I could. Next is we have to take the burr off. So because there's a burr on the inside of the tube, okay, we have to get that burr off. Let me see if I can show you that. So there you can see there is a burr on the inside. So we got to take that burr out. And to get that burr, on the same tool, they give you burr remover. So right here, so it's on the same tool. So what you do is just put it in and twist it around. So all we're doing right now is we're removing the burr from inside. So I've removed the burr from inside, but I can still feel some burr on the outside. So all you got to do is just take a file, okay, get a file, and then run the file on the sides just to get that burr off. The kit comes with different size dies. So these are the adapters, basically adapter dies. So it comes with different size. You have to find the one that fits in the tube. So I've already checked it. It's 1/4 inch, so the 1/4 inch one fits in here. So find the one that fits in. Okay, that's the one we're going to use. Now we are going to use the tapered side of the bar. Okay, so I'm going to use the tapered side of the bar. I'm going to show you how high this should be. So the height of the how far you want to stick out this tube, it's determined by the die that you're using. So it should be sticking out the same amount as the die. If it's got 2 steps on it, it should be the first step. So you can see it's almost close to what we want. So it should be the first step. If it's got only 1 step, so let's say that we were using this one, if it's only got 1 step, then you should just go to that end of the first step. Just remember, if it's 2 steps, you go to the first step. You don't go up to the second step. Once you have the height set, now we got to tighten up the butterfly nuts. Okay, so turn them as much as you can. Okay, sometimes I just use the screwdriver just to get that extra tightness on it, because if it's not fully tight, what happens is the tube will start sliding down. Okay, and what I try to do is I look at this gap and I look at this gap. I try to keep it about the same. Now we put the die upside down. Okay, put the die in. I'm going to put tiny bit of brake fluid on the die. This is just for lubrication. Okay, never ever use any type of motor oil or WD-40 or any of that on the brake parts. Okay, because the motor oil, especially the motor oil, will swell up all the rubber seals inside the brake system. Okay. Never use any other but the brake fluid. I almost messed up the fitting. This happens quite often actually. People forget to put this fitting on, they flare the line, and when they figure it out, oh crap, now I gotta go back and cut everything, flare the brake line again. So I'm going to take everything off. I'm going to put the fitting on the brake line. So here we go. So the fitting goes on. Okay, the other side fitting is already on, so I got to put the fitting right here. Now I'm going to put it back in the bar. Okay, good thing I caught that before I flared the line. So we're back to where we were. So we got the fitting on, we have the height set, we got the die back in. This is the cone tool. So we're going to do the first part with the die in it. So we take the cone tool, put it on, and we want to keep it straight. We don't want it tilting to any of the sides. Okay, try to keep it as straight as possible, and then you start tightening it. Okay. So I'm trying to just keep it even from both sides, from here and from here. I want to keep it as even as possible. Then we just start tightening it. And you want to keep going, you want to keep going all the way down. Okay, so what I've done here is, right now the die is touching the bar. Okay, so the bottom part, you can see that's touching the bar. So you want to keep going all the way to this point. So once it's all the way down, take the cone out, or the cone tool, and the die out. So this is our end result after step 1. Okay, so basically what has happened here is we started off with an end like this, and when we put our die in, so what it has done is, because of the taper inside here, what it has done is it has given it a shape like this. So this is what we got. So this is our step 1. Next step is I'm going to put some more brake fluid on the brake line. I'm going to put some more brake fluid on the tip, and this is just for lubrication purpose. That's all it is, okay? Just so it doesn't jam up on us. Now what we're going to do is we will take our cone tool. Okay, we're not going to use any die this time, so we're going to take our cone tool, we're going to slide the cone tool on top, recenter it, and then we are going to tighten it up all the way down. Okay, so we're going to keep tightening it, and remember to keep it in the center. Okay, to get a proper flare you have to make sure that it's in the center, so just keep tightening it until it's all the way down. Okay, that's it. So that's all the way down now. We take this out. We take the cone tool out, and we should have our double flare. So we'll have a look at it, see what it looks like. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take this out and I'm going to show it to you. So here is our double flare. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to show you. You can see the double flare. Let me just remove that. Okay, so here we go. So there is our double flare. You can see the lip has bent in. I know the sun is shining, okay, but you can see the lip is bent inwards, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, just a couple of things to remember again is, one, when you're cutting the brake line, instead of holding it in a vise or a plier, hold it in the bar. If you hold it in the bar, it will not kink. Okay, and then we take it to the first step. First step is going from here to this. Okay, so we're going to get to this shape, and then we're just going to use the cone, and we are going to get to a double flare. Okay, thank you for watching, and hopefully you liked it.